Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and welcome to my channel. Today I will be doing the booktube newbie tag, which is very different from all my other videos because they're all reviews. I've never been much of a tag person, honestly, but I just felt like it would be a good idea to have a video up on my channel that was not at least 30 minutes long and that kind of gave you more information about who I am and what I like. The tag was originally created by a booktuber called Brenda. I don't think she still uploads videos, but that is the person who created this tag. It's 10 questions and I will be going through them, and yeah. The first question is, why did you start this channel? The reason I started this channel was kind of on a whim. When I started getting into reading, I discovered booktube. I never thought that I would make book videos because I kind of stopped reading a couple years ago, like 3 years ago. I stopped reading actively. And then I read Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas in March. And I had so many thoughts on that book and I just kept thinking about it and I had no one to share my thoughts with. I had to voice my opinion and that's why I made my channel. It's been motivating me to read more and I really do love reading, and so I think it's a great way for me to express myself. The second question is, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to booktube? You know what? Nothing. Honestly, I don't really like normal book videos. Things like wrap-ups and TBRs, I don't really watch those videos because I'm not interested in them. I do have one wrap-up on my channel, but in retrospect, I wish I would have just made videos on those books individually because I just enjoy making those videos more, talking in length about everything that happened in a book. So I really don't know how to answer that question. I feel like I just rant a lot and I enjoy that a lot, and I find it very entertaining to watch people talk shit about books, even about the books that I like. And so that's what I'm bringing to the table. Rants and being aggressive about books and characters. What are you most excited for about this new channel? The thing that excites me the most is when I get comments on my videos. When I see that people are actually watching them and listening to what I'm saying, and I mean, they don't have to agree with me. They can also say I don't think that book was shit. They can say I like the book. I don't really mind that, you know, it's just a book and I like hearing other opinions. I'm not very just, you know, set on my opinion. When I get comments about people saying, oh, I agree, I feel so validated in my opinion hearing your review, that makes me really happy and I'm really excited about that and interacting with people. I think it's so fun. The fourth question is, why do you love reading? Honestly, I think I just hate my life and that's why I read a lot. I think I like reading a specific type of book or genre, and I don't think that like in shows and movies that really hits the mark for me. I just like reading about people and imagining worlds myself, and so I think that's why I like reading so much, you know? There's no show that has ever been able to make me feel the way a good book makes me feel, or a movie that made me feel the same way a good book made me feel. Also, I love series. I hate standalones, and so when I watch a movie and it's just a movie, I need to get invested in characters, and I can't really do that with a movie. And as for shows, I just feel like TV shows are always so poorly done, or even on Netflix, many shows are so poorly done. And it's just nicer to imagine those things in your head then. Though I am excited for the Six of Crows Netflix show, and I will cry the moment Cass Brecker walks on screen. What book or series got you into reading? I have always read. Since I was young, I've always read, but it was always very sporadically. I would read a lot and then I would stop and I would read a lot again. I think it's the same for many people. I remember when I was 11 and I heard the Hunger Games movie was coming out. And I hadn't heard about the Hunger Games before. And I remember seeing an article in like a not newspaper, but like a magazine. And we were on vacation, my family and I. And I went up to my parents and I was like, can I go see this movie? This sounds so interesting. My parents said no, because I was 11, and they thought it sounded really brutal, which I get that. Because I kept begging them, I remember they got me the book for Easter or something. I love that shit so much. I wrote fan fiction, everything. And that obsession lasted for like a year or something, and then it kind of blew off and I didn't really dive more into dystopian and fantasy and that stuff. And I think the book that got me back into reading was Graceling by, I don't know who wrote it, but Graceling. My mom got that book randomly from the thrift store, and she said that it sounded like something I would enjoy. And for the longest time it was just like in my closet because I didn't have a bookshelf anymore because I didn't read. and I didn't pick it up. And then one day my then boyfriend was on vacation and I was super bored, and I decided to pick it up and read it. And that was like, and I think I was 14 or 15 at the time, and so that was the phase. Those 2 years, 14, 15, was when I read most of the books I've read. It's just that phase when you get freshly into reading and you just read everything you can get, and that was me at that time. I just read everything, and honestly I don't know where I got the money from because I was 14, but those were better times. Question number 6 is, what question would you ask your favorite booktubers? This is a little bit tricky. I don't watch booktube. For me, as I said, I don't really care for anything that's like TBR and wrap up and reading vlogs. It's not something I take particular interest in. That might change in the future, but just right now I don't really watch those. And so when I watched booktube back in the day, the people I would always watch were, you know, the really big ones like Sasha Alsberg or Christine, Natasha. But because I don't really watch booktube now anymore, I don't really have any questions. Only person that I do watch consistently, no matter what the video is Cindy, Read with Cindy, but I think she's like the biggest, one of the biggest booktubers at the moment, like newer booktubers. I think she's so fun, but there's like nothing I have to ask her. It's like, if she's feeling alright, maybe, I don't know. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel would be the hardest to overcome? I think there's an abundance of booktube channels. Just from what I've seen, there are so many small booktube channels and everyone's making the same content. I feel like it's difficult to find people who are gonna watch your content when, you know, hundreds of other people are also gonna make the same content. And I think for me it's also kind of hard because I don't make just like videos about me loving a book, but I make videos about me hating on a book, which I'm not hating, I'm just trying to be funny and entertaining. I just talk a lot. I think maybe I should talk less. That's also a challenge. Question number 8 is, when did you start reading? Again, read The Hunger Games when I was 11, all 3 books. I couldn't stop. Wrestling when I was like 14, so that is when I got into YA reading, I think. Because obviously when I was younger I would read like fairy books and shit like that, or pirate books. I loved pirate books. But really into reading, that was when I was 14. And I'm 19 now. Question number 9 is, where do you read? I respect everyone that has like a chair in their room next to their bookshelves, like a little couch, and they can just sit on that and read, and they have like a lounge, a reading lounge. That could never be me. Literally my whole life takes place in my bed. You will either find me sitting on my bed or sitting at my desk, but only at my desk because that's where my PC is and I'm playing a game. So I read in bed. I don't read anywhere else. It's just the most comfortable, honestly. Like, can lay down, can sit up, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? I have a Twitter. My Twitter is @HonestlySophie with 3 eyes. My Instagram is @HonestlySophie with 2 eyes. And then my Twitter is with 3 eyes, and YouTube is with 1 eye, so it is what it is. Recently I made a tweet, and I think that sums it up pretty eloquently, perfectly. I have never enjoyed a contemporary book, and I will never ever again read a contemporary book because they don't slap. I hate contemporaries with my whole heart. I can count on one hand how many contemporaries I've read. I love reading young adult, fantasy, dystopian, sci-fi, everything that isn't contemporary, really. Like thriller or mystical, I don't really know, but I don't like shit that doesn't have some type of supernatural element, like magic or anything like that. There have been several occasions where I tried reading contemporary and it just didn't sit right, and so I will never give into the pressure of booktube because I feel like that, you know, a lot of people talk about contemporary. I will never do that. I feel like a lot of people who make booktube videos feel pressure to read certain series because they're really big and popular. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me giving into that. If it's a popular fantasy series, I'll read it, but if it's contemporary, I will not touch it. I will not even look at it. And that is all the questions already, so that was fun, right? That was really fun. I hope everyone enjoyed that. If you want to hear about book rants and don't get butthurt easily, you should check out my other videos. I talk about every book I read, and even if I like it, I will talk shit about it. It makes me really happy to rant and so that's what I do. But I don't mean it in a like aggressive way. If you like a book that I don't like, that is completely fine. Everyone can have their own opinion, you know, and I love to hear why people like something that I don't like. It's really, you know, just talking about it. As I mentioned, I do have a Twitter and an Instagram. I'm more active on Twitter, not really on Instagram, but I will link it down below so you can check me out there if you want to. And I will hope to see you in my next rant video. Bye!